Hey guys, and welcome to another great video. Today we have two products to review. If you're new here, welcome to Sean Reviews Today. And today we are gonna be looking at the Samsung 10.1 Galaxy S Pen and the iPad 4th generation Apple edition. Now let's get into the video and see how this review goes. So as you can see here, we have the Samsung Note 10.1 Galaxy S Pen edition. A great tablet, and it has a pen called the S Pen. Now with the iPad, we have the Apple logo at the back, we have an antenna, and we have the home button, which is an amazing tablet. But we're gonna be going into these devices from the 2016 edition and seeing which one is better than which in 2021. So let's get into the video. Now I'm gonna start with the Apple. Now I'm gonna state one disadvantage with the Apple iPad 4th generation. When I was taking pictures of the sunset, I realized this dark shady background that it came up with, and then in the middle of taking the pictures the screen just went black and white. Since the sun ray was affecting the camera at the back, you're taking pictures, then your screen goes black and white like someone hacked your camera. Now the thing is, I noticed this is a 480p camera at the back. I'm not sure if it really is 480p, but that's what I noticed. But on the Samsung, I really had a small difference since this is a 720p camera and a flashlight. So I didn't get the black and white kind of screen, but it kind of glue and brought a white clear screen which was blocking the camera completely. Now with the iPad, I would say this thing runs out of charge fast and takes really long to charge. But with the Samsung, it takes more longer to charge. It can take 2 days to reach 100%, but it stays really long with charge. You get 8 hours of display with this. With this, you can get up to 6 hours of display. But let's get into it and see what we have. So we're gonna press the on button at the same time. As you can see, the Apple iPad was the first to boot up, then came the Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1. So the Samsung has brought its logo first. Now the Samsung was the first one to boot up finally and finish. Now is to wait for the Apple. And the Apple has finally booted and finished. So now the first thing I'm gonna check out are the settings of these two things, of these two tablets. Now let's go and head on to settings. Now I'm gonna explain the details about this. So as you can see, Apple had the Apple ID since I guess the starting of their evolution, but Samsung kind of also have the Samsung account but don't have it in the settings option, which was kind of a start for Samsung at that point. I guess they've added this feature in the settings recently in the new Samsung tablets and phones. But when I go to the home screen, we can see that the navigation tools for the iPad are at the bottom, same as the iPad, but the iPad doesn't have a navigation tool. It has the home button, which has all of the navigation features. But the notification area on the iPad is on the navigation tool. On the iPad, we have to swipe up to get our navigation area. Now as you can see, we have two options here. On the Samsung, we slide through. As you can see, quite a fills up the whole right area of the screen, but it's kind of okay. Now with the apps, let's go to the apps. The Samsung is really slow with apps. You're playing a game, then the app is currently your iPad is frozen, you got nothing to do, you leave your iPad there, wait for it to reach 0%, then you charge it again. That's how it goes. But some other apps do work, but at times they stop responding. Now with the iPad, you do get some apps. I would say you get few percent of the apps than you get now, since iOS 10 is really outdated these days. Now since iOS 11, 12 and 13 and 14 are out for the iPad OS, iOS 10 is really outdated. You can download most apps on this. Like the only apps that are here only work that are given by the iPad, and other apps that do work, which are kind of old apps, they do work, but other apps like social media apps do not work. You need iOS 11. If there are apps you can get that work, they tend to freeze most of the time and do not respond at time. You can, like, you're using your iPad, then like you're enjoying the scenery, then your iPad just shut down.
Okay.
Now let's go to the exterior features. What do we have in the front? We have a 780p camera, we have a home button with a tiny box in it, and we have a screen that absorbs millions of fingerprints. That's a disadvantage with this model. We have an iPad here made by Samsung, which has a 720p camera and light sensor on it. Kind of good having a light sensor on an iPad. We have two dual speakers which are kind of slim but really powerful. Tend to catch the ears of the user. We have the Samsung logo in the front. Samsung's trying to gasp up their logo in there. Now let's go back to the back of the iPad. We have the iPad logo. As you can see, the logo on the iPad is facing vertically. Now this shows that the iPad's default user rotation area is vertically. Now on the Samsung we have a different way. The logo of Samsung is horizontally. Now this tends to show that the iPad is supposed to be used horizontally. As you can see, there are two differences, but size are almost similar. As we can see, we just have the iPad passing by an inch. Then on the other side we have the Samsung passing by centimeters, as you can see. From my side of these iPads, I can see they're both the same. Nothing really different, since this is using iOS 10 and this is using iPad Android 4. Since that's really outdated, don't know about the iOS 10, not really into iPadOS at the moment. But at the back we also have a wide angle speaker and the Apple charging station, and on the side we have the mute and unmute button. That's really common with Apple. They still have that thing till today. Don't know if that's ever gonna disappear. We have the volume up and down button, we have the on button, and we have the camera, which is really bad. We have the antenna, we have the headphone jack. This thing is out for Apple. We don't want headphone jacks. We using our charger. We don't want headphone jacks. We got AirPods. Why do we need headphone jacks? Now Apple were like, we're giving up on headphone jacks. Now when we go to the Samsung, we have the headphone jack as well. We have the SIM card slot, and we have SD slot. That's kind of good with Samsung, since this is an editing app, editing iPad, and as you can see, we really need more storage with this thing. This thing is 16 GB. They could have implemented more storage. Like, they could add a 30 GB slot in here and then be like, here you go, here's your iPad. But then they were like, no, we're adding 16 GB and we're gonna give you SD slot. You can top up. We don't want to waste money. Now with the iPad we have a SIM card slot but no SD card slot. As you can see, Apple have really implemented on the fact that they don't need more storage, since this thing is a 60 GB iPad. Kind of enough, but mostly this is not for editing, I would say, but still we have enough storage. Why do you need more storage with the old iPad that's almost 10 years old? So as you can see, guys, these things are also found in eBay. You can buy one of these things from eBay. Great budget you can get from this. These things are really useful in 2021. According to your budget, you can go higher, buy something with iOS 11, you can buy something with Android 10, or let's say Android 8, but according to my statement on my side. These things are really efficient in 2021, still in use. The Samsung great for editing softwares, and the iPad is great for watching videos and streaming, I can say that. So with this video you can decide which tablet you would choose today, and from my side I would choose both of them because they are both very efficient today, as you can see. So guys, this will be the end of this video that I'll be recording, and we shall meet next time in our next video. If you like this video, you can give us a thumbs up, and if you'd also like, you can join the Sean Reviews family today by leaving a subscribe and hitting the bell notification to be notified if we post any other video. So we'll see you next time.
Hey y'all, come look at this.
Excuse me sir, is this the China Samsung shop? Yes, I have two tablets here. I have Apple 4th Gen and I have Samsung Note 10.1. I would like to trade these two. If you want, I can do the Sam Apple. You want Sam Apple? Yes, I can give you Sam Apple. Excuse me sir, you are very wrong. We cannot do that for you. Please go refresh your brain.